Beneath the weight of 6,000 meters of ocean, where pressure can crush steel and light itself dies, there live creatures so bizarre that even seasoned biologists hesitate to believe they exist. Among them is one of the strangest, Alicella gigantea, the giant amphipod. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a shrimp, but not the kind you find on your dinner plate. This one is as long as a human arm, sometimes bigger. Some specimens measure more than 30 centimeters, nearly a foot in length. Imagine holding a shrimp the size of a cat, its armored body glistening, its legs twitching, its antennae reaching like blind fingers into the dark. When these monsters were first hauled up from the deep by researchers in the Kermadec Trench, disbelief followed them. Amphipods are supposed to be tiny little scavengers, millimeters in size, the unnoticed janitors of the sea. But in the abyss, something happened. The shrimp became giants. A phenomenon scientists call abyssal gigantism, life forms growing to enormous sizes in the crushing cold and pressure of the deep. But why? Theories differ. Some say gigantism is an adaptation to low oxygen. Larger body mass means slower metabolism, a way to endure scarcity. Others argue it is a weapon, larger predators thrive better in the endless dark. And some whisper a simpler truth. In the abyss, rules bend, and size itself becomes a survival strategy. These amphipods live like vultures of the deep. Whale carcasses, fallen fish, even sunken wood, everything that drifts down becomes their feast. In swarms, they strip skeletons to the bone with frightening speed. Their mandibles are not large, but together, they are relentless. An army of silent scavengers that can reduce a corpse to nothing but dust in days. Imagine yourself sinking into the dark after death, your body falling endlessly. You think it will remain untouched in the silence of the seafloor. But it won't. The amphipods will come. Like pallbearers of the abyss, they swarm, coffin-sized shadows, ensuring that nothing, not even the dead, rests in peace. Here, I want to pause and say something necessary. If this descent into the world of giant amphipods gripped you, I ask you to walk with me further. This channel is young, fragile, and like these amphipods, it feeds only when there is something to consume. Your support, a like, a share, a gesture, is the oxygen we need in this deep sea of noise. The link is in the description. Without you, the abyss remains silent. With you, its secrets rise to the surface. Back to the amphipods. Their anatomy is as alien as their size. Their bodies are encased in chitin, translucent and pale, often ghostly white. Their eyes are reduced, sometimes nearly useless because in the depths there is no light to see. Instead, their long antennae probe the water, sensitive to the faintest vibration, the smell of decay, the chemical signatures of death. Darwin once wrote, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." Alicella gigantea is proof. From a humble shrimp-like ancestor, it changed, adapted, stretched itself into monstrosity to survive in a place where life itself seems impossible. But gigantism is not just a quirk of amphipods. The abyss hosts giants everywhere. Squid with eyes the size of dinner plates, isopods the size of puppies, jellyfish with bells wider than a man is tall. The amphipods are part of this hidden kingdom, and they remind us that evolution in darkness writes its own laws. Scientists studying amphipods sometimes find clues to the past. Fossilized shells suggest their lineage stretches back millions of years, surviving extinctions that erased entire empires of life. They are ancient, silent witnesses, unchanged while civilizations rose and fell on land. When Rome burned, amphipods still prowled the trenches. When dinosaurs vanished, amphipods endured. Ernest Hemingway once said, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong at the broken places." The amphipods are broken by pressure, crushed by darkness, yet strong in those very places. They embody the abyss, cold, silent, yet eternal. Their role is not trivial. Without them, the deep sea would be a graveyard. Every whale, every fish, every fallen bird would lie intact, choking the seafloor in endless skeletons. But amphipods clean it. They erase the dead. They recycle. They ensure the abyss is not a cemetery but a cycle of rebirth. Philosophers might say, even in silence there is work being done. The amphipods are workers of silence, their jaws never resting. Death to them is not an ending, it is harvest. And yet, despite their size, they remain nearly invisible to us. Few humans will ever see one alive. Only in the rare footage of submersibles or in the steel traps that rise from the deep do we encounter them. To most of the world, they are myths, like Kraken or Leviathan. Confucius once said, "Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated." The amphipods prove this. They are simple, they eat, they survive, they endure. While we build cities, wage wars, write books, they continue unchanged, untouched by time. In their simplicity, they carry a lesson. The abyss does not care for complexity. It rewards endurance. And a Lichella gigantea, the giant amphipod, endures. So when you imagine the ocean, don't picture only dolphins and whales. Remember the shrimp that became a monster, the pallbearers of the deep, the janitors of extinction. They remind us that the abyss has its own giants, quiet, patient, eternal.